And good morning, Anambra, this beautiful Tuesday morning. My name is Chidima Oranwa. This morning, we are starting the show by bringing your way the stories that are trending on our website and also our other national dailies this morning. And we have our reviewer seated pretty right here in the studio this morning. But you get to meet him after this break. Stay with us. All right, glad to have you back on the show this morning. We have with us as a reviewer in the studio, Paulson Okeke. Paulson Okeke is a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Paulson. Glad to have you on the show.
Listeners, you're welcome.
All right, quickly, we are starting with the stories that are trending on ABS website this morning. The first story we have on our website is a federal lawmaker, Oba empowers over 10,000 constituents and party members. NCWS President taps women on a proper upbringing of children. Industrialist Ezembaji lauded Soludo on multi-sectorial development initiative. UNICEF Anambra State government to train 60 people on child protection case management, mental health, and psychosocial support. Okay, these are the stories we have on our website this morning. Over to our reviewer.
I want to take or marry the two stories of on child upbringing. National Council of Women's Society tasking women on proper upbringing of children. This is one problem we have in our society today because, as the normal saying goes, you cannot give what you don't have.
Exactly.
So most of the women we have as mothers today, most of them are not properly trained. Sorry to say this, because we now have the millennium children turning mothers. And when they turn mothers, these were people or women who did not imbibe the normal training which they should imbibe, inculcate in their children. So when they become children, what do they give? Some of them hardly know how to cook at home, first of all. And when they marry, they beget children. And when they beget children, you ask a woman or a wife who do not know how to cook, what's he going to teach the children? And you look at their behavior. Some of them smoke, some of them are deviants, engage in all social devices that are not in consonance with normal behavior. Some of them barely speak the native language, all in the name of Western influence, and so on and so forth. You can go on and name them. And when they become mothers, you ask yourself, these people, what kind of upbringing are they going to give their children? Like currently, you go into public hubs, that's the public circles, restaurants, bars, and so on. Late at night, 10 o'clock, you see a woman with children there. What kind of children are you raising? If you could keep children, toddlers, who will be at home sleeping, you are carrying them about in bars, in sit-outs. What are they doing there, for goodness sake? By 9 o'clock, they're supposed to be on bed. Man, you see their mothers carrying them about with ndị ọ ga-esekpu n'aka, chere ha na-akpagharị na beer parlor, na club. Kedu ụdị ọzụzụ ị na-azụ ụmụaka? So when National Council of Women's Society say, women, please give proper upbringing, these are what is involved in giving your children proper upbringing. Ọ bụrụ ịkpọghalịba n'ebe a na-aṅụ mmanya na n'ebe a na-eme isi ụmụaka bụ ụmụaka, ha na-etonite. Their mind is what psychologists call tabula rasa. They copy what they see. as they grow, all ihe papa na mama na-eme n'ụlọ ka ụmụaka na-eburu ụzọ amụta. So if these women or these mothers are smoking, as most of them do now, ụmụaka na-amụta ya. In the social media, we'll always see a woman that will take cigarettes, inhale, and give it to the child, and so on. You look at, is it proper? Is it what a woman should be doing? And so on. So National Council of Women's Society knows what they are talking. Okay. When they say women, please engage in proper upbringing of your children, because these, at the end of the day, it will have an carry-over effect to the larger society.
Okay.
Because onye bụ ịpụtazi na society, ife ụmụaka ka ha si behave, na-asị onye ọnwụkwara ala nne osikwe na ezinụlọ pụta ka o si emezi otu a, and the related questions. Because from home, onwere proper training. So you don't expect ọpụtazi ya n'ilo ka ọ bụrụ ihe anụ. We are not advocating for angels, but we are advocating for human beings who will be human beings, that will see you on the road and say, good morning, sir, if not for anything. And you say, no, you don't want to ask for my nation is no pota. So that is the challenge we are talking about. Now you see UNICEF partnering with Anambra State government to train people on the same issues there, on how to inculcate good behavior.
Yeah, mental health, child protection management, and psychosocial support.
Good. Because in this psychosocial support, now effect of our children may behave. Because there's what we call woke generation. Generation of Nemehe Solohano. That's the kind of generation we are in, we are living. We have come to meet them. They are no longer looking at their parents, but they are looking at their peer group, at the society, what the society offers to them. That is what is more important, and not what parents taught at home any longer.
All right.
So that's the problem. So they will tell you mental health. What is the mental health? Because most of them are overthinkers. Because no, as they say, I don't mind, it's a devil workshop. A man or a woman, or a young man or a young woman who stays alone in a room is free to think about anything. And the corner think can only make a meaning to him or to her. And so on. But opota ni ilo na interact. Obo na alolo, obo na workplace. Honorable na alolo. Go na alolo na engage or be busy. Or men we think about rubbish. And that's why most of them Japan or no be meruma. I think kata will snipe and ngofu. Because we believe that the society has offered nothing to her or to him. Therefore, no worry hard on them. But it is wrong. It's very, very wrong. Come out, mix up, relate with people, good people, and not people that will join you. Oh, you are thinking about it. Oh, it is true, and this and that. Before you know it, you engage in one social act or the other. Yeah. So
all right. Thank you so much in that. Quickly, let's go to our papers this morning. And the first paper under the review is the Daily Sun newspaper with the big story, banner headline there, more trouble for Ayu. Court restrained PDP chairman from acting in office. My suspension exercise in futility, Ayu. Pro-Tinubu protest rock Abuja. Supporters insist Tinubu didn't steal mandate to warn against a spirit of June 12. Anyim Osigwe lecture. Ex-UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson seeks stronger Nigeria-Britain ties. Fani Kayode replies UK High Commissioner declares have no apology. Federal government moves to avert labor strike over Naira scarcity. INEC fixes April 15 for supplementary polls in Adamawa, Kebbi and others. FMC Umuahia performs 11 kidney transplants, records 80% success. Polls, police arrest 781 electoral offenders, recover 132 weapons nationwide. COAS coerced lots of personnel for professional conduct. Suspected headsmen kill 5 in Benue communities. All right? We've seen the story trending on Daily Sun this morning. So,
I want to talk politics this time.
Let's go there.
Look at more trouble for Ayu.
Ayu, yeah.
Yeah, I think Ayu's enemy has got him. his enemies have actually got him. Because what you require to sack a national chairman is just what they have done. Remember Oshomole, that was how his problems started. All it takes was to get some ward executives to pass vote of no confidence, and they purportedly removed him. And the next person goes to court. As he has been removed from the ward level. Because at the ward, that is where you start in politics. And therefore, when they say at the ward you don't have influence, your problem has started there. And that is where Ayu's enemy had capitalized on and went to catch him there from the ward. Even though some people were saying our signatures were forged, we are not part of the plot and so on. But the issue is that they have removed him. And the next step is to go to court, that he should stop parading himself. And they got him there. So he has a real problem. And that's why people like Wike, the Nyesom Wike, governor of Rivers State, who has been the arrowhead for his resignation, joined with Benue State governor, his governor, and so now have levels of accusation that you didn't win your polling booth, you didn't win your ward, you didn't win your local government. So what are you there as national chairman? What are you offering? The same excuses those who went after Oshomole did. So Ayu has a problem because court has asked him, the Benue State High Court has asked him, stop parading yourself. And he must obey the court. Even though he's trying to fight back that it's only National Executive Committee, the NEC of PDP, that can suspend him. But all those things are not the fundamentals. The fundamental thing is that right from your ward, they have suspended you. That is it. And the court has now sealed it. So whatever NEC of PDP will be doing, they must respect court order.
Okay, what's also your thoughts on this headline saying that federal government moves to avert labor strike over Naira scarcity?
Yeah, when I saw Ngige and the labor leaders yesterday on telly discussing this issue with CBN officials, I said, good, maybe they're being proactive. Proactive in the sense that the strike is supposed to commence tomorrow. But the CBN on its own part has tried to avert the strike by, one, telling the banks to open even on Sundays in order to clear the queues. And they opened their vaults to take money to flood the banks, ATM, banking hall, with all those old currencies which we jumped fences to go and deposit. They are now releasing it back to us. That will tell you the country we are living in. Because I know there were a lot of drama, there was a lot of things that went on in the banking halls, where people will come in, did one drama or the other. Some will even get naked, all to make a point that they are stranded. There are some people that could not access money and they lost their beloved ones. All those things happened, all in the name that we are trying to put our money in the bank and nothing. Today, they are releasing the money back to us. So you ask, what is the essence of asking us to come and deposit this money in the first place? If you cannot do it the way other societies, other countries do it and do it seamlessly, there will be no problem. So, but today, the labor minister he knows the implication of going on strike, and he has called them to dialogue with them. Joe Ajaero, the new labor chairman, is a man who is very, very sensible, more than his predecessor. Because why did I say he's sensible? Joe Ajaero addresses the issues as they come. Other than Ayuba Nwaba, who was a toothless bulldog, Ayuba Nwaba will only be making noise. He wouldn't take any action because he's protecting the northern interest. He's a northerner, remember. So he will always align with his brothers. He will come and issue threats, and that ends it. But now Joe Ajaero, who is more aggressive in labor unionism, will always want to talk and do it. Already has mobilized before CBN say, no, don't worry, we are going to address this issue. And they have actually been trying to address it.
Yeah.
So then, Labour Minister yesterday called to make them to shelve the strike. It's a step in the right direction.
All right. Just to let you know that you can also be part of this discussion ongoing in the studio this morning. All you need to do is just to dial the number displayed in front of your television set this morning. We are going to take a short break right now, and when we come back, we continue with the program Press Review.
Good morning, Ndi Anambra.
Welcome to Good Morning Anambra Breakfast TV show on ABS TV.
Bia Kaido Okwa.
We serve it sizzling hot.
Health and lifestyle. Security. Topical issues.
National development.
Entertainment and more.
Welcome to the flagship show where we arm you with the right tools for the day.
Keeping you abreast with happenings and information within and beyond the state.
There are so many things to gain staying tuned to Good Morning Anambra on ABS TV.
Good Morning Anambra, live on ABS Television, weekdays 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
You're welcome back to the program, and we've been joined by another reviewer this morning. He is Engineer Charles Obi, a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, viewers.
All right, glad to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you.
All right, quickly, let's move over to our next paper this morning, and that is the National Star newspaper. The big story there, National Star newspaper, battle for soul of PDP. Wike declares war against IU. Says the fight has just started. Benue court bars IU for parading as PDP chairman. Wike autumn mere political gamblers. IU says only NEC can suspend him. Umahi, God used Wike to favor APC in Rivers State. University Dawn sues media houses, asks courts to hold profiling of Fulani. Fani Kayode, Dares UK says you can do your worst. Angry women protest naked at U.S. Embassy over 2023 election. Gunmen ambush NSCDC vehicle, kill 3 officials in Imo. INEC to hold supplementary elections in KB, Adamawa, Sokoto, orders April 15. AFCON, Nigeria revenge Guinea-Bissau victory. Ngige, CBN meets NLC to avert nationwide strike. Airfare rises 63.36% year-on-year in February. This is coming from National Bureau of Statistics. All right. You want to say something?
Yeah, I thought we skipped one important point.
Okay.
I respect Yoruba, I can't disparage them, says Iwanyanwu.
Okay.
If Iwanyanwu is a notable Igbo leader, he's a man who will talk and the Igbos will listen. If the Igbos were attacked in Yoruba, and a man like Iwanyanwu could not condemn it, rather he will be telling his brothers who were attacked that he respects those who attacked them, without even admonishing them. I think it's time for Igbos to review who their leaders are. Because at a time there's a national, I will call it national conflagration. All it needs to do is for the Igbo leaders to condemn what the Yorubas did and admonish them that we are talking about one Nigeria. Therefore, you should accept these people as your brothers because Igbos have made sacrifices.
Don't you think that he's trying to douse the tension already?
You know, if he's dousing them, tell a man that what he did is not good. Other than telling him that I respect you for what you did.
He didn't particularly put it that way.
No,
but
no, even if, okay, why would you respect them? For what? For what will Iwanyan respect the Yorubas? For killing the Igbos or for stopping them from going to exercise their franchise? I don't understand. Or for burning their markets. And yet we are talking about one Nigeria. And a man like Iwanyan, even though he has never told the Igbos, please bear with what happened. This is the sacrifice you make for your efforts to put Nigeria together. He didn't say so, other than I respect the Yorubas. Such things should be condemned. It should not come from Igbo leaders. That's what I'm saying. That's
I
why I
understand
brought
what you're
it back.
saying, but we don't have the full story. We don't have everything he said. But let's just...
Lots of interpretations and misrepresentations.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, I read Ifeanyi Ubah the other day trying to clear some issues too. So there is tension in Lagos already. And Igbo leaders, I think it's time we stop drumming for war. Okay, it's high time we started talking about reconciliation, healing. Okay, Lagos, the election came in different dimensions in Lagos. People, miming of people, destruction of properties, and Igbos suffer most because we go to those places and invest to develop their land. So if anything I think Iwanyan is trying to be careful with his tone, the way he spoke.
Because of his investment in Lagos.
But again, we don't just sit here and like our sister has said, just rule on him. We have to hear the full story and how, I think he has been making interventions. And Lagos, our people need to be careful these days. I read some people leaving Lagos already. There's tension. Okay, if anybody should come out now and say, maybe trying to excite the Igbos in Lagos and speak to their ego, then things might go wrong and we will be in the loss.
And that is what is expected of our leaders, trying to talk to our people to calm down. That is what is expected of our leaders, and they have been doing it. So many of them have been doing it. Fine, but a man who is so known should also talk to Igbos. And not like encouraging those who...
Anyway, he's been speaking in the past. I don't know what's happening for now, but talking about National Light, where you read National Star, talking about the PDP issues. I feel for Ayu these days, it's not been easy for him. And then again, the G5, this has also really ignited the fire between the Atiku's camp and the G5 governors. Then, what is happening in PDP has to do with ego, presently. Coming to a round table to discuss the issues with the party. I may be wrong, but I think I'll make bold to say that PDP may not bounce back again from their present crisis to take power. Maybe a new party will emerge, okay, because they seem not to be ready to face. They've been very wrong, a very poor opposition to the party APC. They've been very poor opposition. Okay, we didn't. Nigerians expected robust engagement from PDP in the times when things were going wrong. As the major opposition party, they didn't live up to expectation. Election came, you mismanaged the whole thing. You were so insensitive to the majority, plight of the majority, their lamentations. That was the thing that gave birth to all these agitations, sentiments, G5 and what have you. Again, after the party, your party lost an election, and instead of calling for reconciliation, calling for negotiations, you went ahead to begin to sanction members. People erred. At times, you don't need to just apply strict measures to situations. You sometimes call for dialogue, call for, okay, this person went wrong, your agitations, what was it, how do we now reconcile? Because if you continue to divide your house, you can never build it, you can never achieve it. Okay, so Ayu presently has had his ward chairman, executive expel him from the party. Okay, being expelled or suspended, as the case may be, and the courts in Benue State High Court giving a judgment asking him to stop parading himself as national chairman. And the other side of it, where you just read that his team is speaking, saying it is already in the neck. There is a court judgment, there is a court injunction saying stop parading yourself. So for now, he has to go to the appeal. Another phase of the problem has started for PDP. So why we expect that the courts handling the issues emanating from a presidential election do justice to that? We don't want this distraction from PDP this time around. PDP should just go and treat their problem. APGA is having their own already. So let them go and handle their matters internally. Unfortunately, the G5 governors have not decided to exit the party. Okay, sanctions here and there. Oton was sent to the district, and these people are the people. Both Senator Pius, these people happen to be the real makers in the PDP, kingmakers. They happen to be the people who ran the PDP previously. So you can't just do away with them like that. You can't just play insensitive to their lamentation, to their plight. They have genuine sentiment. They have issues. One, they said the president. Let me even go back to that. The presidency, or the presidential ticket of the PDP should be zoned to the southeast, to the south rather, to the south. Though the southeast people came up against and said we never had it, so it should be given to us. So there was this genuine sentiment. We all saw that as necessary because the north has had it. So let the south produce the next president. And you didn't listen to that. Presently, Atiku happened to be the leader of the party. National chairman is coming from the north. Everything goes to the north.
But one would
so what is the
that,
balance?
I mean, the G5 governors, somebody like Wike, one would think that PDP will be talking about how to probably suspend him because he openly supported APC.
The APC candidate. But like I said earlier, these people are very influential in the party. They wield strong influence. So you can't just do away with them. Like you already seen the party's chairman being expelled or suspended with allegations of playing anti-party politics in last election, and then his supporters voting another party, I think APC, you know. So all those things should tell you that those people opposing him are very influential. His word, his own national chairman's word, cannot sanction him in that regard if there were no strong influence supporting them. They are being backed up. Some will say bankrolling. So somebody has been bankrolling those people at his word level to take that strong measure, and then the court has equally ruled. So these people are very influential. Wike and his team are very influential in the party.
All right. Let's quickly go back to the next paper this morning. That's the Punch newspaper. It's still the big story is still about PDP. Ayu must go. G5 governors article campaign clash. Benue Court affirms Ayu's suspension of Jones case till April 17th. It is morally offensive for Ayu to remain chairman after electoral defeat. G5 camp. Only NEC can remove me, Ayu. Wike orders selfish, says Atiku PCC. And then Rep invites ministers, firms over $2.4 billion all sale. Don't travel to states of origin for census, says MPC. Nigeria can defeat terrorism like UK. This is coming from Boris Johnson. And then we can see the picture there showing Ngige Emefiele meeting NLC over planned strike and bank queues persist. Abacha died on eve of that planned execution. Lagos tenant stabs friend to death during argument. Ramadan, VC Senator-elect advised Muslims on kindness and sacrifice. Okay.
Let me talk about this Boris Johnson's administration to Nigeria. We can do it well. How Nigerians can unleash human potentials. Yeah, it's not as if we don't know all these things. Sometimes I will talk about our leaders who spend enormous time abroad, traveling to those Western countries, and when they come here, they choose to live as though they have not crossed the shores of this nation. Okay, Boris Johnson has just said it. He talked about credible elections. Okay, that we should insist on credible elections, education, quality, equality before the law, transportation, and all that. These are things we should not be told to do in Nigeria. But because of corruption, a lot of people, we had so much expectation on this present administration led by Buhari, that he has they called him a man of integrity, zero corruption. Corruption has been the problem Nigeria is suffering. If they can extinguish corruption from Nigerian system, I think all of these things will just come easily. Election, we just had an election, presidential election. You and I saw what happened. And the INEC, up to date, is talking about 15th to conclude some elections. 15th of April to conclude some elections. Obaru here in Anambra State is still, people are apprehensive. Okay, what stops INEC from doing the needful? We saw the budget released for INEC. We saw the preparations along the line, and yet again they are coming so unprepared. Nigeria presidential election, many people are saying this is not our choice. This is not what we bargained for. Yes, we have a president-elect in Nigeria. Yes, but how do you, even the international community, the EU and others are talking about the situation in Nigeria. They are frowning at the election. And now Boris Johnson himself, former Prime Minister of UK, has come out to say, give these people credible elections. And you begin to unleash their true potentials. Assuming the presidential election of 2023 had gone the way Nigerians had expected, I bet you many Nigerians had already started planning how to come home, to live in their country, to invest in their country. We are still talking about the presidential election. I read Senator Musa, talking about being Senate President. We are having a Muslim President and Vice President. Again, a senator who is a Muslim is coming. So who is fooling who in Nigeria? They are all coming. Yes, we not always talk about sentiment, but this Nigeria is not a one religious country. We have diversity. So they should be sensitive to all this. If the right things are being done in Nigeria, people's potential, Nigerians are gifted. If you go on social media, the same senator is one that has been talking about gagging social media. He's the one talking about, he was one that presented the social media bill in the Senate. Senate Chairman, Service Commission, whatever, Public Service Commission, whatever. So he coming to become the Senate President. And the social media might just be the last hope, because they say the court. But at the time Nigeria, social media became the last hope of the common man. So if he now becomes the Senate President and immediately gags the social media, and then maybe the court continues to lead us on, and Tinubu takes over as the President of Nigeria with Shetima, who do we now complain to? So Nigerians will continue to frown and walk about frustrated. So this whole thing, Boris Johnson has not said anything out of the box. He said what we already know, and the leaders of Nigeria are aware that these things are things you put in place. Put in good education, put in proper elections, credible elections, transportation, whatever, electricity, and you see Nigerians thrive, and Nigerians will become proud of their country, very good patriotics, and the country will blossom. That's what it is.
All right, do you want to add anything?
Can we take something on the census, the forthcoming census? Yeah. The National Population Commission has urged Nigerians not to travel to their states of origin. Yeah, it is supposed to be like this ordinarily. But the way we do our own things here, before you know it, some people will put trailer and load their brothers and sisters down here in the south
to the north
and move them to the north, because they know the importance. They had always been claiming that they are more in number. Therefore, if they allow their brothers and sisters to remain here and be counted as people in the south, it will affect their number and their claims that they are more in number. So that is why MPC chairman is a northerner. So he should make sure that he educates his people on the need to allow everybody to remain where he is staying. Because that is one problem we have in our constitution. We always talk about state of origin, state of origin. You understand? That is why people must move to their state of origin. Because if we are talking about your residence, where you live, it will be like that. But you keep on talking about origin, state of origin. Therefore, making Nigeria secondary and state of origin first. We should all be talking about nationality, Nigerians. And that should be what will be more important to us, other than the claim that every time I'm an Igbo, I'm an Anambra. That's what is dividing us.
If you live in Borno, for instance, and when you seek for job, they ask you to take the slot of Anambra. The slot, because states have their own slots, so you take the slot of Anambra, whereas you live in Borno State. And when it's time to be counted, they ask you to stay in Borno to be counted. How does that make sense? Like you rightly mentioned, they will use trucks to load their people, but the next truck that brings tomato to Anambra will carry some people and return to their place.
Yes.
But our people will, and sometimes when they raise these sentiments, people should stay in their state of origin to be counted, and then you begin to create certain unnecessary awareness and tension. Because I've heard cases where our people travel to be counted in their state, and by the time they return,
it becomes problem.
They start facing rejection, opposition from their host communities. You have gone to increase the number of your people, and here you want to benefit from us. And sometimes you see market being burnt and properties being destroyed, and even life at times. So the leaders should stop hitting up the policy at times when it is unnecessary.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
In the history of, not just in Nigeria, even in the Bible, people migrated, traveled to their places to be counted. Mary and Joseph left and traveled. Okay? They didn't travel because Mary was in labor. They traveled. I think we read the Bible here. Am I just the Bible student here? So they traveled to be counted, and in the process, she started having labor and gave birth.
So all you're saying is that you're in support of
it's been so.
If you want to travel,
if you want to travel and be counted. Travel, because the people, especially people from here, they are mostly travelers. Our people are mostly travelers. We live all over.
All right.
Okay. Where some of those people are predominantly indigenous. They live in their places.
I beg to differ with you.
We really don't have much time.
Because if we keep on traveling, it will make it impossible, make it very, very impossible to plan. Because planning is based on number of people living in a particular settlement. Therefore, if people living in this particular settlement should migrate to another place to be counted, the number here will be less. And when you were planning for this place, you say, oh, they have 300,000 people. Well, about 200,000 people have migrated during the census. Now, whatever you are giving to them, you are giving to them based on their 300,000. Now, they're up there where they have migrated back. You count them, there will be 50,000 people or 500,000 people. After the census, they still come down to help you, to share with you on what 300,000.
I think it should be optional. It should be optional.
It should be optional.
Yes,
Nobody
should be optional.
If you want to travel, you travel.
Yes.
If you want to stay where you are a resident, you stay there. All right. Well, on that note, we want to say a very big thank you to both of you for joining us on the show this morning. Thank you, Paulson, for being here.
Thank you very much.
And also, Engineer Charles, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right, that's it on Press Review this morning. Thank you so much for being part of it. My name is Chidima Oranwa. We'll see you at the other side. Stay with us.